Sabre, just ask me to stop if you want me to stop, okay?
What do you want makeup time for? Holding my sharp thing in my eye. Thank you. Pretty sure you
I'm doing this now. I'm doing this now, please. Okay. May I have one of the Arizonas?
Yeah.
Thank you. They actually both kind of became mine, but you're welcome to have whichever one you don't give me.
We got no minimum. We got no less shorty. We got no shorty. We'll survive.
Okay. Sabre, who are you talking to? Sabre? Sabre?
having a sleepover room. My mom said she found a group of family members that have severe sleepwalking problems in our family.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on?
Nicola Dine, she keeps saying she's her brother Adam, and she starts sleepwalking like this.
You're sleepwalking now?
Yeah, no, my sister Nicola is. She looks kind of like me. Actually,
Okay.
a lot like me, but she's got longer hair right now. It's kind of sandy blonde. Emily tried to look like her for a little while. She liked her sandy blonde look, but she went back to her natural hair color. I'm pretty sure your disturbance within this family made her not want to help take care of you. Not other people. It's family.
Sabre, do you know who I am? Sabre? 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 Do you know who I am?
I believe you were an old neighbor of mine from Casino Road, possibly.
From where?
I think I might have recognized you from Casino Road.
I've never been in a place called Casino Road.
Okay.
Did you say Knights of Casino Road?
Well, that's a video game, but no.
Okay, so I've never heard of it.
Okay.
I don't know
I met you
anything.
around here then.
Okay, so
Yeah.
and
You kind of look like a Richard from. You look a lot like a guy that I was a neighbor to.
okay. What year was this?
Oh God, what year was that? 2004, 2005.
Okay, did I look like this?
You look very similar to the guy that I thought you were.
Okay, where was this?
This is on Casino Road.
No, what state was this in?
This state.
I have never been, okay, since July, like 11th, I think, or 18th,
Yeah.
I have never been within 2,000 miles of the state of Washington or the city of Seattle.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You just look like a lot like this guy named Richard Diamond that I live next to.
Sabre, have you ever played the video game World in Conflict? It was a real-time tactical game, and it glorified a war between late 1980s the Soviet Union after Gorbachev supposedly faked out Reagan and Bush to pretend to put in perestroika, so I guess it would be like 89 or maybe 90, they never specifically say. And basically it's about an invasion of Seattle by Russia in a sneak attack where they have cargo ships with cargo containers that are filled with tanks and armored vehicles and troops and helicopters and other aerial vehicles in order to attack Seattle and then attack, I believe, something in eastern Washington or western Idaho or Montana. Uh, Scratch that. I don't think it was supposed to be more than a few hundred miles from Seattle. And the idea was they wanted to attack the Star Wars command center and research operations for the United States NORAD and the anti-nuclear deterrence to keep the Soviet Union from being able to nuke the United States. And the reason they wanted to do that was because they believed that they could. And the reason it was happening was apparently because Reagan developed Star Wars, or the Strategic Defense Command. You remember these things? What they are? They were ways of shooting down or stopping intercontinental ballistic missiles with nuclear weapons on them. By lasers and kill vehicles and things like that. But it was a fake out because Reagan made it all up, and the military and research and development made it all up to stop Russia or the Soviet Union from being able to launch a preemptive first strike on the United States soil. And the tanks were approaching the town where the research and development was, and this is hard. And once they took it over and started killing scientists, or at least interrogating them, Sabre, are you listening to me? Sabre, can you understand me? So what they would find was that it was all made up by the United States, and they would launch nuclear weapons and basically destroy the entire world.
That's what they were thinking they were doing?
This is what the United States believed they would do. So the United States ended up delivering I believe 100 megaton, not 100 megaton, 100 kiloton boosted thermonuclear weapon, or an H-bomb, on the town.
Right.
And specifically a man named Mark, who was waiting for his excuse me, I'm trying. Waiting for his, what do you call it? What is it called when you are held on trial in a military court for doing something grossly negligent or ethically and morally reprehensible? They call it
Beautiful.
What?
An
No. It's in court. It's in court. In A Few Good Men, the Marines were going on it, and Jack Nicholson. What is that called? What do they call the court trial before a military court?
God, you can actually look it up. It's in the history.
Oh, okay. I can't do that on my phone because it'll stop recording.
It's one of the causes. It's one of the causes of freedom. But Freedom Ring is the next one over.
I'm not sure what that means. It's a. They say it in Star Trek all the time when somebody does something wrong, when an admiral breaks a treaty. It's not just a tribune. It's specifically they say it's. I think it starts with an M. Mm-hmm. An M. Do you remember anything with an M?
Mm-hmm. No.
Okay. Well, the point is, he was awaiting his trial for killing a bunch of Russian or Polish civilians.
He murdered people.
He murdered people because he made a mistake on the battlefield, mm-hmm. and his tank group basically, I think, attacked a civilian apartment building because they perceived a threat, and he made a call. His name was Mark, either with a, I think it was a C, with a C or a K, and he was told, he was given a dressing down by a general whose command he was under, and he was told basically, prepare to spend the rest of your life in a military prison. And there's a scene, and I think Alec Baldwin was a narrator talking about what was happening with Mark, and and he and he said he called his parents from a phone in an apartment in Russia, and he apologized to his mother and father for disgracing them and dishonoring them, I think.
Yeah,
And
it
Alec
was
Bald
it was a great.
and Alec Baldwin as the narrator.
It was kind of focused on like an odd angle. And it was just kind of.
But it was paintings of the characters, and they were not animated, but they would show a progression of images as he hangs up the phone and hangs his head in shame, and basically they know the tank groups, or whatever they call them, the tank squadrons or what have you. And I don't know military terminology very well, even though I used to read Tom Clancy all the time, but only the books he wrote by himself, the Jack Ryan and John Clark, I think, and Domingo Chavez novels. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. The point is, he was on the battlefield and he showed uncommon valor, and his tank group was being surrounded, and he basically said, and they said, we have to drop a nuke, and we have to do it here. And he said, sir, my men and I have discussed it. Are you listening, Sabre? And we volunteer to lay down our lives for our country and the world. And he basically drew them in, and they kicked ass against the Russian tanks, giving 2 or 3 other squadrons and the general himself and his orderlies. The story is actually secretly about 2 orderlies from the National Guard, the Washington National Guard, that lived in Seattle. And one of them had a new portable CD player that he kept trying to find batteries for. And at the very end, when they saved the Space Needle from being nuked, the 2 of them sit down together outside the Space Needle in the parking lot, and he gets his batteries, and they listen to the music by sharing the earphones, and they play Everybody Wants to Rule the World. But back to Mark. You're seeing like a cutscene, and then you hear this ominous thrumming, like death sound, and there's a radiation symbol that you basically put on his tank alone, on Mark's tank, and you drop the American tactical nuclear weapon deep in the forest, far from Seattle and its suburbs, on his tank, and you wipe them all out. And when you get back to that part in the story, you're 50 miles away and the forests are on fire, and you're trying to get your people out of danger. The point is, Mark was forgiven, and his men all posthumously received the Congressional Medal of Honor, and everything that he had done wrong to fuck up his life and his military career and kill Russian civilians was stricken from the record. Does that interest you? So basically, I killed my namesake in this game. And the thing that was remarkable about it was that I got the deluxe edition, and you can find unopened deluxe editions, and they each contain a small, and when I say small, it's bigger than a silver dollar or a silver half dollar. Pieces of the real Sabre. Are you listening to me?
Yeah.
They contained real pieces, genuine pieces, complete with a photograph of its authenticity, of the real Berlin Wall after the wall fell. And this came out around 2007. And I gave my piece of the Berlin Wall to a woman that I knew loved traveling to Berlin, and she did it before the Berlin Wall fell, and she did it after, and maybe she was even there. But I gave it to her with love, and I asked nothing in return. Her name is Nikki Cohen, and I knew her back in the 80s. Do you know what a bulletin board system is? Do you know? A bulletin board system was basically a computer that was set up to answer a modem, and people shared the community, and that it had email, but you could only email on that personal computer. And we called her Silver Dawn, and she makes I don't want to say novelty corset because it cheapens what she did. Have you ever seen a TARDIS corset? Do you know what a TARDIS is? Do you know what Doctor Who is? She created the original TARDIS corset and her artwork, and she created incredibly beautiful corsets and dresses and costumes.
I'm not rich.
You're not rich?
Yeah, giving to people isn't rich.
What? Did you
Stop pulling on me. You're even pulling in my face to just fucking disrupt. Who deserves that? Go. I'm talking to someone else.
Who are you talking to, Sabre?
Would you like to admit who you are?
Can you tell me who that is?
Turn around the corner and talk to us about who you are. What's your name?
Sabre?
Adrian? Who's your mom?
Sabre? Who's Adrian?
Yeah, I didn't catch your mom.
Are you talking about me? Sabre? Sabre
You
is
need to take him home.
Sabre, you're the 25th person I've seen in the last 2 months that communicates like this.
I'm not communicating.
No. Like you have, like you're talking on your phone through earbuds, but you're not wearing earbuds. Sabre, this is...
She is talking to someone else. Look, past me.
Who are you talking about? Sabre, is your Chomsky switched on? Is your Babel fish switched on? Is this your Babel fish? Sabre? Do you have a debuff, Sabre?